Welcome in, sorcerers. This is Endfaze Gaming. I'm Brandon, and in front of me I have the mana rocks, known as the cores, along with the Philosopher's Stone, and a couple ordinary cards called Common Sense. If you've not been living under a rock this week, you probably know that a new card was spoiled this week as part of Arthurian Legends called Just a Rock. It's an artifact and it costs 1, so it can be tutored with Highland Princess, and since it's an ordinary, you can use one of these super cool Common Sense to go get it out of your deck. And Just a Rock, the card text says, it may be cast into the hands of any unit already carrying an artifact to banish that artifact. And these big guys here are oftentimes held by your avatar. Pretty much they're exclusively held by your avatar unless you have other spell singers out or spellcasters out. And they give you mana ramp. So this new card effectively banishes an artifact that they are holding, and its banish is removed from the game. So it takes that card away. If you've been playing Sorcery or collecting, these 5 cards outside of the Common Sense that are sitting there are pretty valuable. These are the beta copies, obviously, but Philosopher's Stone, I think at its highest, it was running about $130. I think at the highest and that's for the non-foil versions. For the non-foil versions of the other cores that are surrounding the Philosopher's Stones here in the video, they're running at about $40 a piece. And I think at their highest, they were about $60, $65, $70, I think at the highest. And this card is just causing a whirlwind of emotions from the players right now, and collectors, to be honest, because these cards are part of the quote-unquote Power 9 of the beta set, where you have, along with these 5 mana rocks, you also have the mixes, which I don't have in the video right now, but those can also be banished with this Just a Rock card. I think the art on the card is pretty cool of Just a Rock, but gameplay wise, it's definitely going to shake things up. Mana ramp is always going to be a thing in TCGs. You're always going to want to, fire out your big cards and your big spells and your big minions, and to sort of stymie that a little bit and change the way that the game is going to be, is kind of leaving a weird taste in some of the players' mouths. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, because if you're running Common Sense, you can run 4 Common Sense. I don't see too many decks running 4 Common Sense. I know it is an Earth Threshold card, but if you're running a Common Sense package and you're going to run Just a Rock, you're probably going to be running 2 Just a Rocks, maybe 3 at the most. But if you're starting the game with a Common Sense, you have to wait till turn 2 to play that. Then you're going to search your card out. Then you can't play that until the next turn. And then with the way Just a Rock reads, the other player is just going to drop their mana rock. So if your avatar, we'll say that the King of the Realm is my avatar right now that I pulled the other day. Let's say that my avatar is the King of the Realm. I'm just going to drop. I'm gonna play my turn, and then I'm gonna drop the mana rock on the same tile as my King of the Realm, and then I'll pick it up the next turn. That way, I'm not holding that Aquamarine core, and they can't banish it. They use their Common Sense to find Just a Rock, and now they can't play the card. So it is a little weird with the way that they released this spoiler. I don't think it's as big of a deal as what a lot of players are thinking. who knows? They might come out with some sort of card to combo with it, to where these artifacts, like I know a bunch of people are saying like there might be a rock minion, or there might be this, there might be that. I mean, the card doesn't, it just banishes the artifact. There's not going to be rocks laying around, other than, I guess, if you want to call the card, well, I guess now that I read it again, a famous person once said, reading the card explains the card. So you're casting just a rock into the hands of any unit, so their core is being replaced effectively with a rock. So with all these rocks sitting out on the battlefield, I don't think you're going to have that many. Maybe it's going to be like, it could be like Magic, where a rock can be, transformed into a mana with a threshold of any element, something like that. Or there might be some sort of rock minion that eats these rocks and turns into something. Who knows? But I did just want to talk about it because I know that it's a hot topic right now, and who knows what will happen. I just think that to have a card like that, it's a 1-drop, it's an ordinary, so you could run 4 of them if you want. I think it's going to see a lot of like limited play, and maybe just limited and sealed play, but I don't think it's going to go into too many, winning decks. I mean, even at Gen Con, the top 8 decks, I think only one of the top 8 was running cores, if I remember correctly. Moving on to the other card that was spoiled, I believe it was spoiled earlier today by Louis at Game Grove. They spoiled Excalibur, which is a 2 cost. It's another relic, and the bearer has +1 power for each of their elements. If they have all 4 elements, they're also immune to damage. It is a unique, so you can only have 1 copy in your deck, and it's just, I think it's going to be a great card. There's already, with it being a unique, you can only have 1 in your deck, so it's not going to be too overpowered. You can rock it. It's crazy that, Excalibur, this powerful sword, can be turned into a rock, but, it is what it is. There's also some speculation, like it's Excalibur, so we're probably thinking that King Arthur is going to be a 4-color element card, so he can get the the immediate lore effect of the Excalibur card to whatever his card text will be. And then Azure Ridge Caravan is going to be a big problem because it is its card text, it has all 5 elements, and it's going to be hitting hard, and then you attach that to it. I believe that means it'll be hitting for 8, and then you can just grapple shot it the next chance you get, and then you're hitting for another 8. It's just going to be crazy. The game is going to be shook up quite a bit when Arthurian Legends releases. I'm looking forward to it. I don't want anybody getting too, the spoiler season's crazy. I don't want too many people to dive too deep into their emotions with these spoilers, but I do validate the opinions of what's going on. I've seen so many people with so many great thoughts and opinions of what's going to happen, and to be quite frank, just the immediate dislike for Just a Rock. I'm not a big fan of it. I think you can easily play around it. If somebody wants to run a common sense package to take out a mana core that I'm gonna drop and they can't do anything about it, go for it. Excalibur, on the other hand, whoever is holding Excalibur is the target. You have to get rid of them immediately. And if you got the caravan running around, you need to bury it, you need to submerge it, and do whatever you can to get rid of that card. Or just a rock Excalibur as quickly as you can, or just do it the old school way and dispel it and disenchant it, because those are just as powerful. And the game has a lot of removal right now. I think that's one of the main issues with just a rock, was that there's so much removal already. Why did we need an ordinary 1-drop to help get rid? But other than that, I think maybe the set is just going to have some super powerful, equipable items like Excalibur, to where we need the rock. I'm going to trust the process of, EC right now. And, they've done a great job so far. I think we have 2 spoilers left, and then we have about a month until Arthurian Legends drops October 4th, and we'll see what happens. I know we have a good chunk of what's been spoiled so far. My favorite card so far, I think, is Wizard's Den by far. I think drawing is always going to be good, and then you should be able to protect that site long enough to where you get the benefit of using that card that you drew, and then maybe by the time that site's attacked, you don't even have anything in hand and you don't have to discard anything. Or you could be running a spirits deck and discard something that you can bring back later. Like if you open with, Lord of the Void in your hand and discard him, and then turn 6, 7, however you ramp out the ghost ship, bring him back. It's a good way to cheat him out. But those are just some of my opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I appreciate everybody for liking and subscribing in the first video. Been blown away with the comments and some of the texts that I got from some of my friends about creating my first video. And I'm gonna do more to come. So like and subscribe, do the YouTube thing, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.